Oh, hey, I got this YouTube show. It's called What Are People Doing? Where I kind of ask you, what you might be up to at the moment, where you might have been coming from, where you're going at, how's your day going so far? How did your morning go? Where you're from, what you do, things like that. Are you single? Do you have these guys' heads going crazy out here? Things like that. I'm gonna get in your business a little bit, not too much, but we nosy over here. So we want to see what you have going on. So what's your name?
My name is Liz.
Your name is what?
Liz.
Liz. I like that.
Thank you.
Okay, that's what's up. What do you do, Liz?
I do social media management for a local Japanese restaurant. It's called Nikado.
Okay.
That's in Atlanta. Go check it out.
What is it called?
Nikado.
And-
Nakato.
It's in Midtown,
It's on Cheshire Bridge, yeah.
and you do the social media management.
Yes, but I worked there
Wow.
like 5 years previously. So I've done all of it. I've done hosting, serving, management, and now I do social media management.
Okay, so hosting, serving. How was that? Tell me how that went. Like hosting and serving. Did you do
Well-
different spots or was it the same spots?
So I server trained, but my specialty was maitre d', so I was really up in the front. We have two different sides of dining, so I would say very fast paced. We saw up to like 600 covers on the weekends for
Right.
holidays, Mother's Day, so
Right.
definitely meeting a lot of different people because we have Japanese business guests and then we also have families, birthdays going on, girls' night out, so
Right.
you definitely see a wide range of clientele.
Right. So you were doing the service. So is this the same company that you're with doing the social media now?
Yeah.
Okay. So did you get a lot of tips with that? Come with that.
Let's just say like
When you were doing the serving and the hosting.
Yeah, mostly when people wanted to get in, they wanted a spot, they would just kind
Yeah.
of slide me 100 or do all that stuff. Some days I'd be like, okay, I'll take it, and then other days
Yeah.
I'm like, we're packed. I can't
We're
do it."
packed.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm sorry, I might have asked you this already. Is this in Midtown?
Yes.
It's in
Yeah,
Midtown.
It's on Cheshire Bridge.
Okay,
So,
okay. And so so you were taking under the table money.
Yeah. Off the record, yeah.
Yeah. So how was that the first time? Did you do it the first time? Like how was it the first time someone tried to slide you a little bit? Did you say, hey, this is not right?
Well,
how did it feel?
I was about 15, so yeah, I definitely was like, no, I can't do that.
Right.
But then eventually, like, if I knew I could get them in, and
Yeah.
I worked my butt off to get them in there, I was
Right.
like, I deserve that.
Right. You got mad one night and you was like, F this, I'm taking ownership a little bit.
Yeah, I actually
you know what I'm saying?
I actually got an 100 on Christmas this past year because the lady like yelled at me and her husband felt bad because she yelled
wow.
at me and he gave me an 100. But I mean, of course, it's like Christmas, so I was
Wow.
like, thank you. He I refused to take it, and he was like, no, you have to take this because he knew how upset I
Wow.
was. So listen, there are good people out there.
Yeah,
that'll make
yeah.
things right. For
So,
sure.
so how old are you, if you don't mind me?
I'm 21.
21. Wow. You just graduated. When did you graduate high school?
2023.
This is the class of 2023. So it sounds fitting that you do social media management because your whole life has been like, social media. That's
Yeah.
all, you know what I'm saying? So you're like a wizard, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm kind of like in between, I've grown up half my life was without social media and then half of it was. So but I'm kind of popping back out. You know what I'm saying? I'm popping back out.
Yeah.
So doing the serving and the hosting, right? What made you even get into that? Like, were you always like the kind of like a light or just like a friendly person or sociable person?
Get into hosting or social media?
No, the first, what you did first, the hosting and the serving.
Oh, I was in high school. I was a sophomore, so 15 or 16 years old, and
Yeah.
I needed a job. I come from a family where we're like, you work for the money that you want, and
Yeah.
so I actually always ate there for birthdays.
Right.
I was there for my cousin's birthday, and we had this chef who was really funny, and he was like, do you have a job? And I was like, no. And he was
Yeah.
like, well, you need one. And he called the
Yeah.
manager over and was like, get this girl a job.
Yeah.
He asked me what I wanted to do, and I was like, I don't know. All my teachers have told me I talk a lot, so I
Right.
was like, I guess a host. And then he
Okay.
was like, yeah. I went in for my interview that following Friday, and we talked about marine biology the entire time because at the time I wanted to be a marine biologist. And
Right.
I got a call. I was at the pool, and he's like, "You got the job."
Right.
And I was the youngest person there.
Right.
I have been the youngest person up until I graduated high school.
Yeah.
And then we had some high schoolers come in, but
So were you
Yeah.
could you say were you kind of shy when you first got the job?
Maybe on the first day, but I don't really take myself as like a shy person. I would
Right.
say I'm pretty outgoing, so
Yeah.
I took it as a challenge where I was
Right.
like, I'm new to the restaurant industry. It's my first job,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm just gonna climb to the top and do the very best I can. So
Right, I like
was
that.
promoted to head hostess within like
Yeah.
a year or two of being there.
Right.
And like I said, I was the youngest person, and then
Yeah.
I became a manager. Then I did carry out, server
Right.
trained, just
Yeah.
all of the above, and then
So you say
now I'm at where I'm at.
So you say you were kind of shy, but you got over that and kind of like the first night. So
Yeah.
take me to the first night. I'm loving this first night thing. You know what I'm saying? So because this is gonna help people. You know what I'm saying? With like
Yeah.
confidence and things like that, knowing your place. You know, knowing your
Yeah.
talents, your lane. So you say you were kind of shy when you first went in, but you kind of got over that in one night. So let me ask you, like when you went in there, it kind of felt like almost like a party vibe. I won't say like a party vibe, but kind of like the social gathering kind of got you over the butterflies, and you were just like, oh, I'm social.
So I came into a group of older women.
Okay.
So like I said, because I was the youngest, they were definitely more experienced in the restaurant industry. They had kind of hopped around for different restaurants, and this was my
Yeah.
first restaurant job ever. So
Yeah.
I was definitely intimidated by not knowing the system, not knowing, or talking to people in that setting. You know,
Right.
where I was the customer service representative and they were the guest.
Okay.
And so being behind the scenes of a restaurant I had been going to for a really long time was kind of intimidating, especially seeing friends at school like come in, and I was like, oh my God, like I'm in my work uniform.
Yeah.
But then I would say the more they kind of talked me through it, coached me, and I learned the system, I was like, oh, it's not that bad.
Right.
So I wanted to be the best at it, and
Yeah.
there was obviously an incentive. They're like, yeah, if you get really good at it, then you can actually be the head hostess and organize the tables for a busy night. So
Yeah.
actually, the truth on how I really got over my fear was I was sitting in language arts class my junior year.
And you so fly. But go ahead.
My language arts class, and my manager texted me and said that all the hostesses had called out sick, so I was actually going to be flying
Wow.
solo with the owner that night. And
So how did you felt that night, knowing
I was
that?
scared. I was scared.
You
and
was
I
like, it's time to.
Yeah. I
It was like make or break moment, right?
I didn't think I was ready, and I was like, oh no, like I have to stand by the owner the entire night and do this. Like if I mess it up, then she's gonna be pissed at me. Like she's gonna think like, who's this newbie that just messed up everything? And
Right.
so I was so nervous, and her name was Anita, and I was like, oh Anita, I can't do this, and she was like, you got it, don't worry. She
Yeah.
always told me I had a backbone with people, so she was like, I can sense it, like you got what it
Yeah.
takes, and I was underestimating myself, but.
It's called aura. That's why I stopped you for the interview. But go continue.
And I had gone in there, and my boss was like, you got it? And I was like, I'm gonna try. And so I went in there and I did the whole shift, and I feel like just knowing that I didn't have any other choice, I feel like I worked really good under pressure. So I worked under that pressure. I did a great job. I got a lot of good feedback, and then
Yeah.
since then they just kept putting me on as the organizer for the night. And
Right. So
I
you
never
kind of
looked
just
back.
flowed with it.
Yeah.
All right. So let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me ask you. So being this fly, foxy mama that you are, so being in that social setting where you had to deal with a lot of people, and it was a restaurant. It was a nice restaurant. I'm pretty sure, right? So dealing with the couples and things like that. Tell me any stories. Did you have any stories? Because I'm looking for some mess. Did you have any stories that, maybe someone's boyfriend or husband kind of was like doing a little too much towards you, and you kind of felt the energy from the lady, or, guys hitting on you, things like that? Can you kind of talk a little bit about that?
Well, I've got so many different stories, but I feel like
Give me the good ones.
when it
Give me a
comes-
couple good ones.
When it comes to I have to say, I'm a girl's girl in that way, and I mean business when I go to work.
Right.
So when I have interactions with couples, I always address the girl if I know she's a boy. I don't even look at the guy.
Right.
I don't
Okay.
even look at the guy, because let me tell you this.
You already come with that respect. You know how to
Yeah.
put yourself in other people's shoes.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I also feel like a lot of the guys, half the time, it's really disappointing because you think that they would make reservations in advance, and I see it all the time. They come in, and the girl's like, yeah, what's it under? And then they're like, oh, for two. They don't even have a and and they
Right.
lie. Like, it's crazy how they'll be like, yeah,
Right.
I told you I got a reservation.
And then
I'm
they slip you a little.
oh yeah. and I'm like, wait,
Look at you banking off of their
you
mistakes.
just came in here 10 minutes ago seeing if I could squeeze you in. You told her, and I was like, oh, that's why. You got a girl outside that
Yeah.
thinks she booked something in advance.
That's
Not
where
true.
you saw. That's where you saw a lane, right? Where you could
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
So I just I just direct my attention towards the girl because the guy half the time just seems so uninterested. They don't even pull out chairs anymore, and you see a lot of it, like just like chivalry, I guess, manners. It's not
Right.
But I'll
Let the
say,
people know, right?
in terms of men harassing me, there was this one occasion, and I think it was honestly the grossest thing that has ever happened to me.
Wow.
But I was 17. I feel like, okay, let me also say this. I feel like I was hit on more when I was under 18 than over 18.
Wow. And it was only like a year difference, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, it was like definitely a substantial amount of older men that
Yeah.
would say something to me, I guess because I looked young.
Yeah.
But
And they probably would automatically think you were 18 if you got a job.
maybe so, but I was
You know?
like, but it doesn't happen as much now, but I think it's because I kind of have that, like, I mean business.
Oh, you're just doing the
thing.
management now.
Yeah, so I'm not on the floor, but there was this one time I was wearing like a skirt to work, I guess,
Yeah.
and just like a black top, and we had to wear all black. And so I was sitting it was this group of older white men, probably
Right.
like 50s, 60s.
Right.
And I sat them, and I walked back up to the front. I didn't really think much of it after I sat them. It was kind of protocol.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I felt someone come up from behind me and like kind of grab me from the back. And I
What?
was like, what is going on? And I had all the
Wow.
hostesses here.
In the restaurant?
In the restaurant, I was sitting there, and then I like can like feel like the breath, and then like someone like talking to me, and so like I like turned. It was on this side,
Yeah.
and he was like, then all of a sudden it was him, and then two other people, and then he
Right.
was like, I just wanted to tell you that like you turned my entire group of friends, or the whole table on, and we wanted to
Oh.
thank you for that.
But I mean, yeah, I understand that, but
I was like, oh
that's
my
a
God.
little, it's a little
It
extra,
was
sir.
very weird. Like it was like the whole group coming up and just like telling me like, you turned us on. Thank you for that experience.
Okay, well,
Mind
you
you,
know.
all I did was sit them. So I was like,
Yeah,
what the
okay,
hell did
leave
I
a tip.
do?
Did they give you a good tip later on that night?
I didn't even get a tip.
Oh,
get a tip.
wow.
But I guess
You was
I
like
guess-
that little girl off that meme in the car seat, like, sir, are you lost?
Yeah, I was like, get away from me.
Yeah.
So it was that. I mean, other than
Yeah,
that,
that was foul. That was foul.
I think I remember when I first started, there was this one guy at the bar that, oh my God, wait, all the stories are flooding back to me. I'm like, I actually
Yeah.
have so many. But there was this other guy at the bar that was just like hitting on me. I was 16 at the time. He was 32. I remember he was
Right.
32, I was 16. And he walked up to the hostess that I was working with and asked if I
Yeah.
was single. And I was like, no. And then he came back and he was like really pressing it. And when I came back, he asked me, he was like, well, can I get your number? Like, how old are you? I was like, I'm 16.
Oh.
And he was like his face was in shock because I was
Right.
like, how old are you? And he's like, I'm 32. I was like, you could be my dad.
Yeah.
And he was like didn't even say anything, just walked back to
Yeah.
the bar, and his girlfriend walked in 10
Yeah.
minutes later.
Oh my God.
And then he wouldn't even make eye contact with me after that point because
Yeah.
he knew not only did he fuck up because of the age,
Yeah.
but two, because he had his girlfriend.
He had to do the
10
walk of
minutes
shame.
Yeah, and I was like, and then I think I saw him like a year later, and he
Yeah.
recognized me, and I recognized him. I was like, oh,
He's looking like, man, that's that
that's
girl,
that girl.
that I
Yeah. I'm like,
man.
Still here.
So,
Yeah.
so you're doing the social media management now. I'm sorry, I forgot to ask you. Where are you from?
I'm from Midtown. Yeah, I grew up in Atlanta. I went to Grady High School.
Okay.
Yeah, right
So
in
you a
Detroit.
Grady baby?
Yes.
Grady baby, that's what's up. So that just kind of answered the question because I was going to say, how did growing up, how did that form you into, being the social butterfly? But it's like, man, you grew up in Atlanta, so
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
diversity.
Yeah, diversity.
We have
Yeah.
festivals, so many people, crowds coming in, celebrities filming movies, a lot of restaurants. I go to Georgia State now, so
Right.
I feel like I went from diversity into even more diversity. I don't really think I could go to like an SEC school just because I was never really into that environment
Right.
with I guess predominantly white.
Yeah.
But I was like, I always like a little,
Melting pot.
yeah, of just different ethnicities,
Did-
cultures, that kind of stuff.
Did you have any siblings coming up? Any siblings?
I do. I have a younger sister, and then I have two younger cousins that are basically like my brothers. So I
Yeah.
would say
How
three
how
younger
how
ones.
far are y'all apart in age?
My sister is about to be 18 in August.
Okay.
So
She's right up
only-
under you.
Yeah, about 4
followed you
years.
everywhere.
The other one's 5 years, and then the youngest one, we're a 7-year difference. So he's still in middle school.
Okay, but yeah, they followed you everywhere.
Oh yeah, I'm like the ringleader.
Yeah, that's what's up. So you're doing social media management. So you're you're not doing the hosting and the serving no more.
No, I just manage it. I make their schedules. I actually just got my sister a job there, so I kind of oversee it.
That's okay. Let me ask you, because that sounds Did you have to create that position? That sounds innovative. Like, were there already a social media manager there?
So that's a good question. No. We
Give it to me. Give it to me. I like that.
We had a PR person. She does great with her PR. So her strong suit is really handling media, like Fox 5 interviews, that kind of stuff, handling journalism, articles, publishments, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Awards that the restaurant receives.
Yes.
So we do a lot of that with her, but our Instagram, I felt like, was lacking in the younger aspect. Like, we didn't have a TikTok, our reels were kind of shitty. I felt like we didn't have like a look that all the other Japanese restaurants in Atlanta had.
Right.
So I feel like we were,
and you noticed that.
Yeah,
that's
I
where
did.
that's where the new generation comes in. That's where the 2000s babies comes in. That's where the bringing in this new energy with this, cultivating the next wave. So continue.
I have a really awesome boss. Her name is Sachi. She's the owner of the restaurant, and she has always kind of looked over me. Growing up through Nakado and kind of moving up through my different positions, and she knew that my major in college was marketing.
Okay, marketing. Okay, so you're going there for marketing for what you're already doing.
Yes.
That's what's up. Because I ask people that go to school, what are they doing? And I tell them, hey, you can start whatever you're going to school for. You can start mingling in that now. Find a way to get into it and get it going now before you graduate. So you say you saw that was lacking. So what happened?
So I'm finishing in my junior year right now, so I was debating getting an internship, but if I were to get the internship, then I would have to leave Nakado for the summer.
Okay.
So I've been there 5 years. I knew that was kind of coming up, and it was a decision I was going to have to make, so I actually sent an email to Debbie, our PR person, and Sachi, the owner.
Right.
And I just said, hey, look, like, I'm in a position right now where I really want to start taking advantage of my career and the stepping stones that I'm going to take to, like, kind of pave that path for myself.
That's smart.
So
That's
I was
smart.
like,
Before you graduate.
Yes. And so I was like, I'm looking at internships this summer, but if there is a chance for me to kind of level up within the restaurant and do something that fits more with my career that I can use for my portfolio, then I'd like to start doing that.
This is good. You're going to be like episode 1 or 2 on season 1, because this is like informative. You know what I'm saying? Because you took the initiative to write up an email to send to your boss and the PR lady. You know what I'm saying? To kind of actually innovate a new position that you already are looking forward to doing as the reason why you're going to Georgia State.
Yeah.
So it could.
Well, I definitely felt like, this was a great opportunity. Instead of doing like a traditional internship, most internships are about 6 to 9 weeks in the summer.
Yeah.
And you get the chance to actually work with a company and do their marketing on a team. But for me, I feel like by creating this position within a popular, well-known restaurant and being able just to have like free range of the social media, experimenting, learning, looking at analytics, getting the complete behind the scenes with the trust of the owner already, surrounded by the staff that I've worked with for years, I kind of get the chance that not a lot of people post-grad get, because post-grad, they're looking for these positions to be able to work for a company and be their social media manager. I haven't even graduated yet.
Right.
And
you already on it.
Small amount of experience, and I get to be able to do this.
Right.
So I realized that this was more valuable than an internship for a summer, when I get to have the actual position and be able to put this on my resume.
You see what it is? You look good and you're smart. You know what I'm saying? Because I say that because that was a leadership move, that you didn't just follow the status quo and like get the regular internship and do this and this and that. You thought outside the box, and that's the next wave, that outside the box thinking. Me doing this interview, outside the box thinking, where I just stop everyday people and say, hey, no, you're the star. You know what I'm saying? We want to hear what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. So, wow, that's amazing, yo. I love that for you, yo. I love that for you. So, what you getting into now? What you up to right now? You on the move when I stop you? Where you going at right now? I want to get in your business right now.
I was coming from Body Rock, which is the Pilates place. It's like literally right over there in Colony Square.
Oh, the Pilates class? Okay.
I was coming from Pilates. I feel like I've been so into like my career in school and that kind of stuff that I wanted to add in that third element, which was like exercising, really taking care of myself and my body. And I have to say, like, my boyfriend is honestly like the biggest pusher for that, because he's so athletic and so into his career, and so he's like kind of in my ear, like, make sure you're prioritizing your health.
I can see a lot of the hearts breaking in Atlanta, Georgia, for the news that just dropped that
I'm
she
sorry.
has a boyfriend, guys.
do.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what's up. So
I do.
he's pushing you, and that's what's up. You kind of like, I always say, like, a good relationship is where y'all are trying to be the shit for each other
Yeah.
and motivate each other and things like that. So that's
So
always
actually,
good.
I have this thing. It's called a Whoop.
A what?
A Whoop. I'm promoting it right now for any fitness freaks out
Okay,
there.
okay.
So basically, my boyfriend had this when I first met him, and he was obsessed with it, and I never understood like the thing behind it. Basically, it tracks like your heart rate, your steps. It tracks your stress levels, your cortisol, your sleep habits, like how deep you're in REM, and like this thing called recovery.
Yeah.
So basically, based on your heart rate levels, your activity, it basically tells you what time you need to go to sleep and
Yeah.
how active you need to be in order
Yeah.
for your pace of aging to slow down. So it tells you at
Oh, wow.
what rate you're aging. You buy it
Wow.
for subscription, and my boyfriend was obsessed with it. So I feel like on my fitness journey,
Yeah.
I invested in one
Yeah.
to kind of hold myself accountable and see like my pace of aging and my recovery every day, to see like what I'm doing every day, my everyday habits, and see how they're affecting my body without me
facts.
even knowing. Because I feel like a lot of people are kind of unaware of how much little things they do in their habits,
Right.
like bad habits they have, affect how they feel
The
every
aging
day.
and the
Their
feeling.
aging, but their energy, like
Yeah.
the fatigue,
You are what you eat,
everything.
things
Yeah.
like that, what you consume, things like that. So
when I drink alcohol the night before, it's always like in the red the next morning.
Right.
And I can see like the consistency, and then the one night I go out and
Yeah.
I have alcohol, it's like shit the next
yeah,
morning.
yeah, yeah. Because you know the alcohol, especially when you go to sleep, it hits when you sleep for some reason
my
too,
God, yeah, the spin.
and it's like grouchy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I wasn't always like this. So like I want to preface, and I know this is for everybody, but like freshman year of college, sophomore, I was out like 3 times a week. Tongue
Oh.
and Groove was like my favorite club.
You was down at the Metro Donna doing the karaoke.
Tongue and Groove. It's,
Okay.
it's on Cheshire Bridge. It's where trying to think where another one is. It's kind of like Havana. Have you ever been to Havana? Do you go out in Atlanta?
I'm new here, so
Okay.
you know maybe you can hook me up with the spots.
Go
you
to
know
Tongue
what I'm
and
saying?
Groove. Okay, like it's amazing. And
Tongue and Groove.
I was obsessed with it for like 2
Okay.
years. Me and my roommate were. We went 3 times a week, literally
Yeah.
like Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
I was like that before I met my boyfriend, and we were I loved clubbing. I loved going out meeting people, which
Yeah.
is why I'm such a social butterfly now.
Yeah.
I called it networking. I never went
You've
home
been
with
like
any
that.
men.
You've been like that. You've been a free
Yeah.
spirit. You know?
I have, but I called it networking. I loved meeting people, getting
Yeah.
their contact information,
Yeah.
seeing where they're at with their career, how it can benefit mine.
And let me ask you, do you have a secure boyfriend that understands that
Yeah.
and doesn't get like jealous or mad, like, hey, get out, you know?
It wasn't a jealousy thing, but it definitely was is this what is best for you in your career right now? Because
communication.
he always told me in terms
Yeah.
of like, think of what everybody else is doing in college right now. You know,
Yeah.
they're kind of going out, having their fun, being consistent,
Right.
they're clubbing. Trust me, I was there too, so no judgment. But at
Right.
the same time, they kind of wait till post-grad to lock into their career versus the people that kind of put their head down early on
Yeah.
tend to be successful and enjoy the riches later on in life,
Right.
while everyone else is trying to lock back in later on because they didn't
Yeah.
take the time to do that earlier
But
on.
this is why I can tell you're a gymno, because you're finding a way to do that work and do
Yeah.
the social at the same time. And it's kind of what I'm doing.
Well, I switched it up. I've more started just going to lounges, like
Yeah.
rooftop bars. So
Yeah.
instead of doing like a bar, hole in the wall scene, I've started going to more elevated places,
Yeah.
dressing a little more elevated and nice when I go out. Then I'm networking with people that are higher tier. That's what
Right.
I like to say, like elevated people that are actually going somewhere with their careers, they're doing something and then going out after work. Like
That's who I
after-
want to talk to,
That's
too.
who I want to talk to. I don't want to talk. I don't want to go to some college bar and talk to
Yeah.
somebody that's like just living off of his parents. Like I want to
Yeah.
talk to somebody that's actively creating his own AI software.
Right.
That's going to a lounge with his friends on a Friday night. You know, it's like you
Yeah.
want to have that perfect mix of both,
Yeah.
but also make sure you're in the right crowd. So I've kind of been redirecting myself to
Yeah.
find that
Kind
right
of fit
crowd.
that. So, I don't think we got to it. So where you going now? What you up to now?
I'm going home.
You going home?
Yes.
It's like, yes,
I think
relax.
the iHeartRadio Music Awards are gonna be on.
Relax.
In like an hour.
That's what's up. So we coming up on 25 minutes, so this is perfect. This
Damn,
is
yeah.
a good one. This is a good one.
Yes.
Last thing. So I see you got your watch, and you
Yes.
say you're promoting it. So do you have anything that you want to plug? You can plug the restaurant. Anything that you want to plug. If not, if you don't want to give out your social, it's cool. But you know, if you You know what I'm saying? If you want to plug, you plug, and you know. You can if you want to.
I was like, because I like to be mysterious. If you find me, you find me. Like I said,
you already gave the restaurant though.
I gave the restaurant, so you come to the restaurant.
Okay, what's your name again?
It's Liz.
Liz, and the restaurant is?
It's Nakado Japanese Restaurant on Cheshire Bridge. Follow the Instagram. Come see us.
Okay, yeah. Spell out the Instagram. Is it the same way as the
It's Nakado Restaurant, at Nakado Restaurant.
At Nakado Restaurant on Instagram.
Yes.
And you run that social media.
I do.
Okay, alrighty. This was Liz. This was fun. You're a fun girl.
Thank you.
You got a bright future. You're a leader. I can tell. You have any kids yet?
No.
But I could tell when you have kids, you're gonna be a good mom because your sister and your cousins followed you everywhere, and you're such a sweet spirit. So
thank you.
I appreciate the interview, and you have a good night.
Bye.